Recently, I went to the mainland to go visit my family. And I have not seen my family like in person since 2016. And I might have seen them on like camera or something like that, but I haven't seen any of them since 2016. I left the mainland back in 2017 and I moved to Central America. Now I live in Hawaii and I haven't lived on the mainland since, that time. Well, I can see why I left. And I just want to let you guys know the intentions of this live is not to bash my family or to put them down. I'm not that type of person. I don't care who you are or what you've done to me. I don't use my platform to degrade others, especially if they're not here to defend themselves. Any story that I share, it's to share my experience and hopefully to shed light on yours. So I was a little nervous going to see my family because I hadn't seen them, since that time. And just to give you a backstory of what happened, for those of you that don't know, back in 2017, I had quit my job. I had broke up with my boyfriend. I had sold all my things, and I moved to Costa Rica to be a part of a group, a movement at the time. And one of the things that I had to do, and amongst other people had to do, we had to get on camera and share our experience and teach. Well, one of the things that we had to do, we had to explain why we decided to leave Babylon and why our family is not our family. And everybody had their own, their own opinion as to why they left their family. Well, when I shared my story, only thing I can truly remember, but there's videos of it, I just didn't go back to watch the videos of myself. But what I can remember, what I said was that the reason why I left Babylon and the reason why I left everything that I knew, because I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in with my family. And my family is really not my family. And I felt like at the time that I found my soul family. And I'm sure I said other things. And later on, I discovered that whatever I said, I hurt their feelings, or they were upset, or they felt a certain way about what I did. At the time, I didn't really understand why I was saying the things that I was saying, and I really didn't know where it was coming from. Okay, and I thought maybe I was just saying it because I was told to say it, but I wasn't I still don't know where it was coming from. But now I understand a lot of the things that I was saying. I may not have been conscious of what I was saying, but subconsciously, these were things that were within me, and I didn't have the courage to say it until I got into that situation. So I thought that I needed to be away from my family, and I needed to do my own thing, and so be it. Well, I recently went to go see my family, and I can see why I left. Now I understand where it was coming from. I understand why I said the things that I said about my family, because I had been gone all these years, so I wasn't clear about what I left. I forgot what it felt like. I became this new person, and I went to my family as this new person, thinking that that's what they would see, that I'm this new person, and I'm not Stephanie, I'm Grace, or however you want to identify with me. It didn't go the way that I expected it. It didn't go the way that I wanted it to. And I don't want to, I do my best not to get emotional. But y'all know I do get emotional, and that's okay. But I do know there's still healing within myself that I must go deeper with. And in order for me to be of service to you and to be your guide, I need to work on my own shit. And I realized that being isolated and pulling yourself away from what makes you uncomfortable it's not growth. Like, you can go leave and go to the tropics and leave what makes you uncomfortable. But if you go back to that same situation that triggers you, and it still does, then you didn't get the lesson. And that's what I realized when I went to my family. And that wasn't my whole family, but it was enough. It was enough. Enough for me to experience what I was running away from. See, when I went to visit my family, they showed me who I was. They showed me who I was. They showed me my weakness. They showed me my triggers. Now, see, they didn't know that they were bothering me. They didn't know because I covered it up. I laughed when things wasn't funny. I kept quiet when I should have spoken up. And I didn't say anything because I wanted to fit in and not ruffle any feathers. It didn't matter what was said to me or how I felt. I just didn't want to offend anyone else. And that's when I realized that I still have work to do. But I'm so thankful that I went into that experience. Because, I'm sitting here on my platform telling you what you should be doing. And when you go through this is how it should be. But it doesn't really sit and feel if you don't experience. And I forgot. And when I left the States. I left Babylon, whatever you want to call it. I left. I said, I ain't going to be a part of that world. I'm going to create my own world and do my own thing. And that's what you should do. But what I realize is that a lot of you that I'm here to serve, you're still in that same environment. And you don't know how to cope. You don't know how to be yourself. You don't know how to deal with these people that say they're your family, but why do they keep hurting you? Why don't you resonate with them? Why don't they respect you? And I realized I made myself unrelatable because I pulled away from that. But the lesson is isolation is not growth. It's not growth. Because as soon as you go back to those same people, ask yourself, are you getting triggered? If you're still getting triggered, if they still know what to say to hurt you, then you got work to do. You didn't learn. And that's what I realized. Is that it's one thing that, I don't resonate with my family and me and my family are on something else. But it's another thing when I'm running away from my life. At the end of the day, that's where I came from. And it's okay to evolve and want more, but to push away where you came from, you're only pushing away a part of yourself. And I had to go back to really see what I left. I had to go back to really get an understanding who I was. Now, to be clear, it is okay to evolve and move away from an environment that does not support where you're headed. But it's another thing to run away from an environment because it's uncomfortable or you don't feel like you fit in. And this is where family is frequency. And this is something that I learned within my journey about family is frequency. And when you say family is frequency, people are frequency. We're all on our own frequency. And frequency means thought. We all have a thought pattern of how we see life and how we move in this existence. Everybody has their own frequency that they're on. Now, what you are looking for someone that their frequency identifies with yours and is conducive. And there's no interference when we connect. Now, anytime you deal with people, it's always going to be destructive interference because everybody has their own values. They have their own thoughts. They have their own past of where they're coming from and they're bringing it to you. And sometimes it's conducive and sometimes it's not. But what I learned is that you cannot run away from when things are not conducive for you. You can't run away from that. Now, I'm not telling you to stay and sit in it, but you cannot run away from what triggers you. And you want to know why? Because your trigger is your authentic self. When you run away from what triggers you, you are running away from yourself. And see, when I went to my family, I was able to see a part of myself that I had not experienced in a very long time. It helped me understand why I do the things that I do. Like, one of the things that I do, I laugh when things aren't funny. When I'm around my family, I just laugh. And I laugh because I'm trying to cope. I laugh from not cussing your ass out. I laugh from not crying because you're hurting my feelings. And so now I just laugh. And so now the people that are present in my life, the one thing they do not like about me is that I laugh at inappropriate times. I laugh, and I don't know why I do that. But when I went to my family and saw myself and how I was responding and reacting to them, now I see where it comes from. My laugh is a protection to make me feel safe. My laugh is a defense mechanism so that I won't have to expose how I really feel about something. So I just laugh because, people aren't threatened by laughter. And if you laugh at them, it's like you going along with it. But sometimes shit ain't funny. What you saying is not cool. It's not funny. And it's okay if you feel a certain way about me. It's okay if you say I'm too sensitive. But I'm done laughing at shit that's not funny. And now I see the people that are in my life, that are present in my life, I see how it could make them feel that they're coming to you and you're just laughing. But that inner child of mine, that's the only thing I knew how to do when I was in an environment that I didn't feel safe in, or I just felt uncomfortable. I just laughed. And I'm done laughing at shit that ain't funny. I'm done laughing at shit that's not funny, okay? It ain't funny that you talk to me that way. It's not funny that you do those things. It's not okay. And another thing that I learned is that allowing others to speak to you in a way that you wouldn't speak to them. And that's a hard one for me because I realized that people are going to talk to you however they want. And that triggers me. That triggers me. I can't stand when people come to me talking at me or talking to me in a way that I wouldn't talk to them. Like, how dare you? And the last thing is seeking validation to get people to like me. See, these are the things that became present to me when I was around my family. And see, and they was just being themselves. But because I'm on the journey of growth and self-discovery and accountability, everything that happens to me, I'm fully responsible for it. I'm very strong. I'm a strong individual. But what I became present to is that I'm weak. When it comes to being around people that talk to me in a way that I don't like, that doesn't see my light, they don't see who I am, don't recognize who I am, I become weak. I do. Like, I'm very strong, but when it comes to people that I care about and they talk to me and treat me a certain way, I become weak. And I don't know how to respond without going off or just being quiet. There's no balance. It's either I'm going to go off on you or I'm just going to be quiet. And I don't like the way that makes me feel. I don't like that. So what I found was when I'm around my family, I'm fake. I'm phony. That's not the real me. And a part of me believes they wouldn't be able to handle the real me or accept the real me. So that's why I had to leave. Because I didn't think I was going to be accepted by my family. On the other side of strength and weakness, you have pride. You have pride and vulnerability. See, it's not that the fear is that, how can I get this out? It's not that they don't accept who I am. It's my pride that can't accept that they may reject who I really am. It's my pride that won't allow me to be who I really am around my family because I'm afraid they might reject it. And the other side of weakness is vulnerability. I'm afraid to be vulnerable around my family. See, you think that they need to change because, everybody got their own family and going through their own shit with their family and what their family could be doing differently. But at the end of the day, it's all back on you and what you can do. The only way things can change is when you change. When you change, because you can't change anyone. You really can't. And they don't have to change to fit you or to make you comfortable. It's about you. And I realized that I'm not able to be vulnerable around my family or to be myself around them because I'm afraid they're going to reject me. So I'd be this more pleasing, silly person, or I just don't talk at all. And that's not real. But whatever triggers you, that is your authentic self. Because you know how you have everybody talking about, I want to be my authentic self and I want to be who I really am. But what if when I went to my family, that really is who I really am? I really am a person that seeks validation. I really am a person that just allow people to talk to me any type of way, whether or not it's disrespectful. I really am a person that wants to be liked and wants to be seen. Maybe that's who I really am. Can you accept your shadows? Can you accept your darkness and embrace it? Because life is not all about love, peace, light, and bubbles, okay? Life is not all about that. That is not who God is. See, God is light and God is the darkness. And in order for you to truly embrace God into your life, you need to accept everything about you. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So I stand here today affirming my shadows, my darkness, my weakness. I hate being weak. I hate it. But it's a part of me. There's a part of me that's weak. That's a part of me that gives up. A part of me that runs away when it gets too hard. That's me. That's who I am. It's a part of me that hates rejection. I don't want to be rejected. I want people to like me. That's who I am. And a part of me that cries when I'm being vulnerable. I hate that. I hate that about me. That I'm always crying. But that's who I am. I'm sensitive as shit. I'm sensitive. I get mad easily. I get triggered easily. And I hate that about myself. But that's who I am. I'm powerful. I'm a great speaker. I'm funny. I'm a great friend. Yeah. I love my family. I'm a good mom. Yeah. But I have a whole bunch of pride. And I can be arrogant. I can be all those things. And self-righteous. All of that. That's me. Look at me. This is who I am. Are you ready to face yourself? Are you ready to really embrace your authentic self, the real you? Your family is your family for a particular reason. We all come from a family. Regardless if your family was there and left you, you still came from somewhere. Wherever your mother gave birth to, she's a crackhead, gave birth to you, left you in the trash can. That's where you come from. Don't ever forget it. It shaped you. But you must understand where you come from, and you must make peace with where you come from and accept it, because it is the root of who you are. Now, you determine the flower that blossoms. Only you determine that. Are you going to continue to be a weed in your life, or are you going to be a beautiful flower? Regardless of where that root started. You ever like walk down the street and there's like the concrete, but yet a flower was able to blossom through it? Or does it have to be all nice like a garden, all manicured and perfect for you to grow, for you to blossom? It's really up to you. You must accept your authentic self. Everything about you is exactly the way it should be. My family, they're exactly the way they should be. And I thank them for not being exactly how I want them to be. I thank them for being exactly who they are. Because it lets me know what I need to work on within myself. Now, it don't mean I'm going to keep going around them, because I ain't. See, I live in paradise. I chose this. But sometimes, you got to get out of your bubble and you got to be with people. And that's what that situation was for me. But this is the lesson. This is the lesson. The lesson is you are energy and you have your own frequency. You have your own frequency. And sometimes you're going to have to be a part of others that their frequency is not in alignment to yours. It's not conducive. But the reason why it triggers you is because you're giving your energy to something that is a destructive interference to your energy. So you will know based on how you feel whether or not you should give your energy to this person or not. Because you do not want to live a life where you can only be around people that don't trigger you, that don't upset you, that don't agree with you. That is not life. You are more powerful than that. What you're going to learn from me is how to be empowered. You decide what gives you power and what takes it away, not that thing outside of you. See, that thing outside of you is testing how powerful you are. And you decide that. So you do not want to give your energy to something that's not in alignment to yours. So for example, say you with your family and they talking mess. They being disrespectful. You can either give them energy and argue back with them, or don't give them energy and redirect to somewhere else. A person can't talk to someone that ain't paying them no attention, ain't giving them no energy. Energy, currency, you see what I'm saying? It's the same. You're paying attention. You're giving your energy, your currency to something that's not truly investing in your life, in your growth, in your nourishment. Because I know a lot of you have ran away from your family. Because you're like, I can't deal with them. I want the way they talk to me. I don't like it. But it's because you're giving them too much of your energy. See, people ain't going to change. And it's not for them to. You don't want nobody in your life to change. You want them to be exactly who they are. So you know what you're dealing with. So you know how to move. Be you. Go ahead, be you. Because people are only treating you in the way how they treat themselves. They're just projecting on you what's really within. So you have to know that. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Just don't give it any energy. So for example, like, you always talking that mess. You always da-da-da-da-da-da. But like, yeah, you're right. I am always doing that. Yep. Anyways, such and such, how you doing? Or just get up and walk away. But don't feed your energy into it. Pay attention to the trigger. But don't put your energy into it, because it will overtake you. But remember, your triggers is your authentic self. Whatever triggers you, that is who you really are. That's what you need to work on. And running away from something is not growth. Isolation is not growth. It's not growth. See, growth is being in a situation and knowing that it is not healthy for you, knowing the difference to what's healthy for you and what's not healthy for you. When you're engaging with someone and you're having a conversation and the way they're talking to you and you can't realize that they're being disrespectful to you, that is where you need to heal. Growth is identifying that this person is talking to you in a way that you don't like, and you're able to articulate yourself and set the boundary and standard of how they should treat you, and they choose not to. You can't walk away and remove yourself. That's growth. But that takes a lot of courage. And I realized that when I was in my situation, I was just like, oh my gosh, I do not know how to deal with this situation except for go the fuck off. And okay, I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm just going to sit here and not say nothing. And I was like, wow, that's still within me. That's still within me. It's still within me. Yeah. Yeah. The one thing you need to know about what the theme of your life is in your birth chart. Because the reason why I'm able to come to you and share this story with you is because I know my birth chart. See, the birth chart is a map of your mind, a map of your reality, of what you are here to learn, experience, enjoy, your fears. That's what your birth chart will show you. And the one placement in your birth chart that will show you the theme of your life is the houses. Okay? The houses is the theme of your life. It's the life situation. It is your karma. This is why you have what you have from past life karma. So now you must experience in this lifetime. So for me, the main theme of my birth chart is second house and fourth house. I have 4 planets in the fourth house and 3 planets in the second house. Fourth house represents what? Family, roots, tradition. So in this lifetime, family is going to be a trigger for me. I have to learn and understand family and where I come from. I have to connect with my inner soul and nourish the inner child. That is what I'm going to have to work on in this lifetime. That is what I'm here to offer in this lifetime. That's my karma in this lifetime is family. So I see why family affects me in the way that it does. Now, also I have 3 planets in the second house. Second house represents your values, your survival, how you get money, possessions. So I'm learning how to survive in this world. And I'm realizing surviving is not running away. Surviving is not isolating yourself. So if you push yourself away and away from everybody and you think you all that, you're not. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when you get right around those people that trigger you, you're going to see, damn, I'm still the same. I'm still the same person. And that's how you know you have not grown. But growth is when you identify that you have not grown, then you do the work. You're not blaming nobody. You're taking full responsibility. You're not pointing the finger because you know 3 fingers are pointing back at you, and you're ready to do the work and keep it going and moving forward. And that's it. I know some of you do not want to be triggered, and that is pride. Pride will not allow you to be triggered because you don't want to have to deal with the emotion. Because when the emotion comes, then you have to deal with yourself. And pride will keep you from dealing with yourself. Pride will keep you from knowing yourself. Pride will also keep you from loving yourself. Pride. And being able to have what you truly want. Pride will keep you from that. So I hope that you receive something from this lesson, this message. I like to be as transparent with my life as I can. I want to be of service to you in any way that I can. And if that means making myself vulnerable and sharing my experiences with you, if that will help you, that's what I'm willing to do.